What's up, beautiful people? Your eyes do not deceive you. I'm sitting on the palm of the most anticipated card to hit Marvel Snap probably ever, or at least in 2024. Arishem, baby, arrives to Marvel Snap today. And although there is no guarantees in life, I can guarantee a couple things from today's video. I'm going to stand up for this. Number one, you've got the cozy guarantee. It's good for a couple months that you're going to get your PhD in Arishem. You could be the best man in his freaking wedding by the end of this, and you're going to be looking good in it. Number two, we're going to cover the lore of Arishem, and I can tell you, out of all the characters I covered on the channel, the big red guy here, freaking mind-blowing. We're about to get to that. And then, of course, we have the synergies, and dare I say it, I know, do a little math today. Little math. Talk about some stats and things you need to know about the cards you put in, the cards that you can get out, and obviously all your best percentages to give yourself the best fighting chance. And then, of course, we're going to be talking about all the day one decks, the ones that you should try, and the 11 cards alongside Arishem you should put together. But let's start with it. Who's this guy? Now, all month you guys have heard me talk about the Celestials and that, they created the Eternals. And, well, Arishem, the Judge, is a Celestial himself, an extraterrestrial giant who manifests his energy inside of, well, a physical shell that appears as an immense suit of armor standing, I could say any number here, really freaking high, 2,000 feet high, in fact. Now, as a Celestial, Arishem possesses vast cosmic powers. Really, he has unknown limits. The guy can pretty much do anything, right? He's just all-powerful, one of the most powerful, in fact, in all of Marvel. He can damn near destroy entire planets. And I'm just going to say this. This is where Marvel sometimes loses me. You know what I mean? Like, one minute we're watching Captain America fist fighting just like an average criminal, like a dirtbag that sucks. And, he maybe goes to jail. And then you got all this going on. His entire purpose is to judge races worthy or unworthy of existence. Sometimes this can take a little while. He likes to take his time. And of course, because he's omnipotent, he can judge multiple places at once. And Arishem displays his judgment as either a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you're going to make it. As I'm reading this, guys, I kid you not, like, I'm trying to imagine that, like, Earth is up for grabs. It's either, like, we're all going to die or we're going to live. And it comes down to this or this. I'm gonna be honest, I'd probably just end it all from anticipation before that. I was essentially like the highest ranking Celestial of anything Earth related, and in fact, there's only a couple above him in the ranks, if you will. And well, there's a lot of history here. I don't want to spoil the Eternals movie for those of the 10 of you guys that are gonna still watch that, but Arishem has actually gone through a lot of history, and there's a lot behind this Celestial himself. Probably the coolest thing about him is that he endured the combined assault of Odin, Zeus, and other gods, all combining their powers together to do a giant, like, bolt to try to kill him. And, well, yeah, it didn't work. And pretty much as an effect, he pretty much was just going to destroy everything in all of their worlds. And they came to an agreement that none of them will impede the Celestials' progress for at least a millennium, which is obviously a freaking long time. And then in turn, Arishem agreed and deemed Earth will live as well. Thank God for that plot armor. Pretty much in short, guys, just know that Arishem is the prime Celestial. I mean, the guy pretty much created life, or at least he made suns from planets. There's a whole, process they have, and we're not going to dive into that. But the guy is definitely one of the most badass characters in all of Marvel. Now, in Marvel Snap, if you don't know already, he's a 7-cost, 7-power card. This is the first 7 cost in the game. And at the beginning of the match, he's going to insert 12 random cards into your already 12 cards, including himself, deck. But you're going to get +1 energy each in every turn. So you're going to start turn 1, obviously, with 2 energy. Turn 2 is going to have 3 energy, and so on. And that takes me to the purpose of today's video. A little bit different. You noticed this out earlier, thank God. And that's because I only played a few games with Arishem. In fact, I can tell you confidently, I'm about to play a ton more, that it doesn't matter if I played 5, 10, 15, 50 games. It's not really going to change my opinions on some of the star ratings here outside of the competitive factor. And listen, the fact of the matter is nobody's going to know if this card is insanely good or not, right? So if he entertains you on like a fun basis, get him. Competitive, we'll have to see. It's going to be Arishem v. Arishem for a long time. You're going to have freaking like Darkhawk in there, and just he's going to make your life hell. So take that as you will, but I can tell you're probably not going to regret getting the card, or at least that's my opinion. Now, in the competitive factor, listen, Arishem can be a 1-star card or a 4-star card, depending on how good you are at the game on the fly and adjusting and predicting your opponents. There's a lot that goes into Arishem outside of the card himself. He's simply just enabling a new way to play and a new archetype, if you will. But I can tell you this. I was kicking some ass with Arishem. He was doing really good for myself, and I do expect him to be a pretty good, surprising, and competitive card that will ultimately take a little bit of time to form the decks that he works best in. But that makes the rest of the star ratings super easy. Fun factor, 5 out of 5. Probably the most fun experience that I've personally had. That's why a lot of content creators are excited. That's why I'm excited to play the card. Just a blast to play. Flexibility. The guy creates his own archetype. He is the flexibility, if you will. And so ultimately, he can be plugged into any deck because he creates the deck, right? And so that's the coolest part about him. 5 out of 5 here as well. And then the adjustment factor, I'm putting him all the way down to a 1. I don't think they're going to change anything about the card. Maybe power eventually if they want to give him a power point, but I think 7/7 just kind of works thematic-wise, and this is probably where he's going to be at. All right, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about synergy now, and let me tell you, there's 24 cards in the Arishem deck. You get to control 11 of those, and those 11 cards are going to be vital which ones you choose to work and blend with Arishem in his entire deck build. Now, you're going to have 4 to 5 cards on average that are Arishem cards, and then you're going to have 4 to 5 cards that you hand-selected in the deck that you'll have access to within the game. In fact, there's like I think a less than 5% chance that you're going to draw less than 3 cards from your original deck, and it's about half the chance of a specific card that you're looking for, right? So this is all important to know because the synergy is very different with Arishem. We're going to talk about probably my personal favorite picks, of course, across the games that I played, but also the ones that just make sense in Arishem builds, the non-negotiables, and then the ones that have, you know, a better chance to do good for you in the deck. And let's start with the non-negotiables, the MVPs with Arishem. And of course, we've got, no question about it, Mockingbird. If you have Mockingbird, she's just going to fit in like she does well in pretty much every deck, but you're giving yourself a ridiculous chance to play her for dirt cheap as a surprise option. If you draw her, you're almost guaranteed to be able to play her for dirt nothing. So definitely a great addition to all Arishem decks. After that, we talked about on the Snapchat, Loki. Loki, fantastic card that you just want to be able to change up your hand, depending if you got just pure garbage from Arishem, or you can just change up depending on the situations. And then you have extra energy to either play Loki either early, or if you want to play him later and still play a couple cards, plus the energy to play his discounted cards on top of that. Other cards I think is almost essential is Shang-Chi. I think Shang-Chi just works in Arishem decks. You're never going to be mad to have that as a defensive option when you're going against other players. Heck, if Arishem's too popular, you can even say Darkhawk might be a good inclusion. But the inverse of Darkhawk is probably one of the more essential cards, and that is Blob. Darkhawk is going to slap one location so hard you've got no chance, and Blob here is going to help you reduce that massively, eating a ton of cards to at least get 2 pretty good power, and it's going to really be a nice last play of the game, or maybe you do that and, I don't know, Absorbing Man that you got from the Arishem. He's going to be an important defensive tool, just like Shang-Chi. So those are probably the most important cards, but right under that, I'm telling you guys, we've got the next echelon of cards, and that's going to be our card generators. Agent Coulson being my absolute favorite, guaranteeing a 4 and 5 cost card that you can play early and just giving you more options overall. I think you're going to want a lot of cards to pick between for the given situations. Both Valentina and Cable are both also great options to add to the mix of just cards that you can throw in there. And we'll get to other tech cards like Luke Cage that's going to help out Valentina. And then you got Nick Fury, Snow Guard, Hellthrow, and Mirage. Even White Queen to get a guaranteed nice high-cost card from your opponent that you can play early is going to be a great fit into Arishem decks. But I would be remiss not to talk about the tech cards. I personally think this will be one of the ways to go. You fill up the deck with answers to everything, right? You've got a tech card for whatever your opponent might throw at you. You have an Enchantress and a Rogue to deal with maybe a Darkhawk. You've got Shang-Chi, as we talked about before. Luke Cage, Mobius. There's so many different answers on how to handle both your opponent, but also giving yourself a nice sustained curve play where tech cards just make a lot of sense. Shadow King, Killmonger, Alioth. These are going to be my personal favorites alongside Red Guardian. And then we've got just other great cards I think could just play nice in the sandbox with Arishem. You're not going to be mad if they're in your deck. You've got great 5-cost cards like Lady Deathstrike and Leech. Obviously, playing these out early is really tough for your opponent to deal with. Quinjet is probably the most puzzle piece of a card that we're going to have to see how it continues to play out. It is a 1-cost. It's going to be a little bit wonky. You really don't need any more reduction on the energy, but it obviously doesn't hurt to do so. So I think Quinjet is not a bad card alongside something like Sunspot and She-Hulk. and even Sasquatch. All these are kind of cards that maybe could work, and we're going to have to see how both card generation goes and in all how Arishem games play out on average. Now, I'm also a fan of other cards that can kind of turn the tide of the battle. Cersei is a nice Loki-ish card that you can utilize to get rid of maybe bad plays that you had to do earlier. And then, of course, you've got like these deck effects that are interesting. Fastos and Okoye. Maybe these will work, probably not. They're very dependent on when you pull them, and getting like a Fastos or an Okoye late in the game probably won't make sense to get them, in my opinion. But Sarah is. I think Sarah is going to work in Arishem decks. And we're going to have to see about our friend Adam Warlock if he finally has a home. And then, of course, we in on the good cards. We talk about good cards all the time. That's why things like Black Bolt and Stature work out well. You don't want to do combo good cards, but single-handed great cards on their own. Legion, Doctor Doom, Miss Marvel, you got Magneto, Vision. There's a lot of different options to throw in here. So those catch-all cards like Red Hulk, those are the ones you want to put in. All right, so that's all the synergy. There's going to be more later on, but I think that's a great start. Let's talk a little bit about the numbers. Now, as you guys know, you've been probably watching for a while. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I'm just not. All right, I'm a YouTuber. But there are smart people out there, and Willow from Twitter, great guy, shout out to you, buddy, made a great thread about some statistics and really boiled down to the numbers. And I want to start here. We're going to look at all the cards in Marvel Snap and the average of both cost and power, and how many cards exist in each of the cost slots. And then we're going to talk about some of the great numbers. Let's start here, though. Starting at 0 cost, you guys know we got Wasp and Yellow Jacket. That's 2 cards. And then it gets a nice little bell curve of what you can expect over the course of the game and or your chances of drawing. So you got 43 1-cost cards, you have 56 2-cost, 65 being the highest 3-cost, and then downward trend of 45 4, 39 5-cost, and 28 6-cost. And of course you have Arishem and then Death. Now the average of all this is about a 3-cost card with 4 power. That's what you could expect. Like a Thor, if you will, is the average output of Arishem cards. And I would say this, you're going to be better with Arishem the better you are with random cards, and you're probably going to get a lot of bad cards at times. Weird, synergistic, like this isn't going to work for me options, but then you're also going to get great cards from time to time, especially the ones that you put into the deck. But we have to capitalize. This is the con, right? Starting with a bunch of random cards, but the pro, the makeup, is all the energy that you get. If you look at this fancy graph here, you guys can tell we have a 28% energy advantage throughout the game. And obviously, the earlier in the game is more impactful. As you can see from turn 1, you're going to have 100% more energy than your opponent. Giant advantage, as well as turn 2 having 50% energy advantage. And then, of course, that's going to scale down into turn 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, even though turn 4 and 5, you only have 25% energy and 20% energy advantage, you're being able to play 5-cost and 6-cost cards early, and that's obviously freaking sweet. Lastly, we end turn 6 with a 16.6% energy advantage. Not a massive swing, having, 7 energy over 6, depending on maybe what you have in your hand. But this all circles back to what we talked about in the synergy section with cards like Wave and Agent Coulson, and combining all these factors to give yourself the best chance of both surprise and just powerful card abilities. In short, if you skipped ahead full game, opponent gets 21 energy, you're going to get 27. And lastly, to finish up the statistics side of things, we're going to talk about a couple cool numbers to crunch. And first of all, we got a 26% chance with Arishem to just give us a nice card with really no abilities, right? The vanilla cards, if you will. This feels great, right? You don't have to worry about some ability not synergizing with your deck. And guys, that's a crazy 1 in 4 chance to at least generate one of those cards, not meaning you're going to pull it, but at least have it generated. Now, on that note, what's even crazier and something I already ran into a lot is, yes, Arishem can duplicate cards that you already have in your deck. So, for instance, I got 2 blobs, and the chance of this is around 40%, guys, roughly 41-ish% to get a card that you already have in your deck included, which is obviously good because there's a lot of cards you wouldn't mind having 2 of. All right, so that's all the nitty-gritty, right? That's all the stuff you need to know. You got your PhD, you're certified. Congratulations. We're going to now show a couple of decks that I would use day 1 that we're going to be experimenting with as a community. But this is a little bit different video than usual. I'm going to be taking Arishem here into Infinity Conquest, and so that this video is not 2 hours long, we're going to do it on a separate video. It'll be the one that follows this, so you guys can anticipate the absolute chaos that that's going to ensue as we jump into what is arguably the hardest thing in Marvel Snap, content-wise, at least until maybe Deadpool's Diner. All right, so let's talk about some decks. Now, remember, this is more of just a, hey, I think this is going to be good synergized cards or a collection of cards that should work with the generation that Arishem the Judge provides. And the first one we've got is the Judge. And this one is going to be a mix of just good, strong plug-and-play cards with those generating cards and tech cards. Kind of a mix of everything we talked about in the synergy section. You obviously have ways to generate new cards to play with Arishem's bonus energy. You've got the defense side. You have Loki to change out what you might want to play. And then, of course, we have the Blob play as well. Pretty easy, pretty basic. This is the one that I would start out on. And then we move to Bigger is Better. And this is such a cool build, guys. Essentially, we're capitalizing on the wave strategy. But on top of that, we've got really unique play lines that we can play the Blob. We can play Arnim Zola to get multiple Blobs. We can Taskmaster that Blob later on because we know he's going to be big. We have Crossbones that we could probably play in most of our games because we should be winning with the advantage that we have. And overall, on paper, this one just seems like a hell of a lot of fun. Now, I want to do like a high Evo version of the deck. Not sure if this is going to work. I've yet to test it. Going to jump in with this, but I've got High Judgment. So we've got the Misty Knight and Sunspot package in here alongside the She-Hulk and Hulk on the other side of things. Obviously, you guys know the game plan with High Evo, and you're not going to get all these cards. Again, at the time of recording this, I'm unsure if he affects other vanilla cards that he does generate high evo. That is, I don't think he does because they're going to be generated randomly. But either way, you don't need that because you have all the cards you'll need in this mold. And even getting just 4 or 5 of these is probably going to be pretty good. You should have copious amounts of energy to float to Sunspot. Maybe you can play Storm, then Sunspot, close the lane down, build it up. You have Cyclops. Pretty much, you're going to have always bonus energy to activate a lot of these cards that need the extra energy at the end of the turn. And we got 2 more decks, guys. We have Thumbs Up, and this is leaning very heavy into the card generation. Again, we have a couple of tech cards splashed in here, but wanted to throw the Collector in because if you do get him on curve, I think he's a really cool play to definitely get way over the average 2-cost slot. And then even if you don't get cards from Arishem, you have the generators with big bursts like Nick Fury, and then a couple big cards to top it off. And then last but not least, we got the Big Red Random. And again, we got card generation with discounting, with big cards, with defense. And pretty much it's like the first deck, but everything mixed together. I wanted to give you guys a bunch of different kind of builds, and yes, there's probably a lot of cards you don't have. If you don't have Mockingbird and she's in every list, that's because she deserves to be in those decks, but you certainly don't have to have her. We're going to jump into like 1 or 2 Arishem quick battles, but then again, tomorrow, we're going to be having ourselves the Infinity Conquest, baby. I cannot wait. So look out for that video coming out after this. Could be tonight, could be tomorrow. I want to take this moment to quickly say, subscribe if you watch the channel. It means a lot. I'm telling you, if you enjoy the content to any degree, it really just is a big thank you, thumbs up for the effort of all the stuff going on here on the channel. So you can click right there. You just click this button. It's kind of hidden. Oh, you're not going to... Okay. We'll get you next time. That's fine. All right, so let's talk about the battles. The Infinity Conquest Challenge is tomorrow. But today I thought, hey, let's call up the Snapchat partner and Alex Kocha and go against the legend Canadian Costco lover himself. And it definitely does not disappoint. So first Arishem battle with Alex. Let's jump in. All right, guys, so we are playing the one, the only Alex Kocha on our second game of Arishem. I thought there'd be no better way. My God, what a start. Okay, not exactly the start that I thought I would want. But you know what? We got to do what we got to do. We're going to hope he plays a 1-cost card here. And that'll be our best chance. Look at that Electra coming out hot. Okay. Random. Love it. Love to see it. Love to see it. So we got rid of our Enchantress. He got rid of a Red Guardian. Not exactly great. We have a Craven, too. What are we supposed to do with this? And we have the Peak. This is just awful. Awful around the board. Okay, he plays Mobius. That's actually really good for the Peak. That's not bad at all. I'm sure he's not mad about that. We did get a random 3, and we got Fury. Fury's huge. We love the Fury, guys. We're going to make this Costco enjoyer absolutely take it here. I'm about to juice this up. And he's got a Moon Girl, which is kind of a risky play with Arishem. Holy crap. Okay, we got a Blob. We're not mad. We're not mad. We got a Pixie, too. Or we nuke everything with Loki now. Those are the options. We Groot. We Pixie. How can this go bad, huh? How can this go bad? I kind of want to keep these cards, you know? I kind of want to keep them. Let's go full chaos. Oh, we missed the Groot. We haven't even played... I guess we played Nick Fury. I was going to say we haven't... What are these double dominoes? All right, Alex. What do you got here? So we can blob now. I like the idea of blob. We're already winning middle. Let's secure right side and make it difficult on him here, yeah? And then what card did we get away? Enchantress? That's risky. Yeah, we're going to snap. Let's put a little pressure on him. Let's put a little pressure. Oh, he's out. He's out.
Victory.
Yo, that peak to open up. What the hell was that?
Buddy, I know. I don't want to retreat against you, but at the same time, I don't want to just get absolutely smashed right off the top. I hit you with the double domino with the Moon Girl, which I know you weren't expecting, and I had double Wolfsbanes ready to rip, but I had nothing outside of that. I have all garbage in my hand.
I saw the Mobius, and I was like, oh, he's going to wreck me because the peak. I had Hella, which was kind of fun from the...
I have Hella too.
Okay, GG. That was good. No, good retreat.
Yeah.
Good, safe, tactical retreat.
Thanks.
All right, round two, guys. Let's take him down. Oh, we got Coulson, Quinjet, and Shang-Chi. Could not ask for a better opening hand. The Quinjet's beautiful. Let's, hey, put the pressure on right off the rip. Press the button. Do the math. I absolutely love playing Alex Kocha. Okay, we got the Quinjet down. Feeling good to start out. Ooh, Kamar Taj. Dare we do double Coulsons? Guys, I don't think Alex will be able to keep it together when he sees this. He's not going to. He's not going to be able to keep it together. This is going to stun him. It's like an effect. We're going to put like a paralyze on him from Pokemon when he sees this beauty. Look at it. Hey, behold, Alex. I want you to behold the glory. Look at this hot trash we're getting. Although the Jubilee Valkyrie's pretty good. He's going to Rhino the location. What on earth? Alex Kocha. All right, okay. Feeling good. I don't hate the Jubilee now. Should we pick up what we played down? Because why not? Let's do it. What is happening? Hey, what is happening in this game? Should we save the King? Let's just play the King now. Let's see what this guy was gonna do. Okay, he goes magic. Look at this. Oh, this is so good. All this for nothing. All right, he hit me with the Arishem emote. So he played a magic and a hood, and then he doubled up. He doubled up the Jessica Jones. Beautiful. I forgot what he even played. I was too invested in cracking up here. Okay, we did get Blob. That's kind of nice. We've got the Jubilee. Do we double Jubilee? I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to play a single Jubilee. He might be a little like, what just happened? But we're going to do that. Kind of puts us in a predicament. We'll just play this. He's going to be kind of confused. That's okay, though. Yeah, let's go with this. That was such a bad play. This is just me wanting to do some fun stuff. All right, so we're going to protect the Limbo, though. We did do that. We're going to guarantee a T7. We're running a little low on space. Oh, let's go. Huge Gamora. Massive Gamora play. We can double eat with Blob. That's hilarious. Should we double eat here? Or do we just punt him now? Punt now? No need to. We're going to double eat with Blob. We have all the tech cards to protect us. We love that. And we're winning every lane. Let's do it. The double eat is so excessive. I don't care, though. A 37. A 37. And we have 6 cards to go. All right. Good stuff. We're still winning, which is beautiful. So do we Shung then armor? And we'll just play an Enchantress that does nothing. Ooh, I actually don't mind this. He cleared up some space on our side. He goes demon into double demon. Beautiful. Ooh, and we got a Steggy. So the Steg does nothing left side. We don't want to reset anything over here. This does nothing right side and nothing left side because of this, but it is power over there. And then do we just play out power over here too? We can't play Shadow King. Can't play the king. So do we just go heavy right side and hope we don't play? Probably this, right? Tie this side. Yeah, let's do it. What is he going with here? What is he going with here? Popo? There's no way. If he does a Shang-Chi here, that would be so epic. Ooh, double whites. Yo! The double white tiger?
I'm literally in shambles right now. I can't believe I lost the tiebreaker.
Dude, the the double white tiger. That's oh my god. The generation, the double blob early was just the constant play.
That's literally pre-nerf blob right there. Look at him. He's a 37 chunk, man. What am I supposed to do?
All right, guys, we're cleaning up. We're doing great. What not a better way to play Arishem early. Sasquatch is a cool card to get early. We can't play anything turn one. A little bit nervous. A little nervous here. Ooh, Attilian. Okay. I don't hate this, and we can change Attilian if we need to. Oh, Jean Grey. What a... Oh, my God. What a beautiful card. He's always giving me stuff about her. Okay, do we go Enchantress now or Baron Zemo or White Queen? There's so many good options here. I don't mind shutting this down. Keep in mind, this will shuffle. If we do this, it's not bad. We could fill out the lane. You know what? I don't mind Nocturne and then Baron Zemo, potentially. Or we just see what he's got in his hand here. Yeah, let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and do this. He's got a leader. He's got a leader. Okay. And an invisible woman. Avengers compound and he's snapping. Okay, all right. All right. All right, Alex. What are you trying to do here, bud? What are you trying to pull off? Let's just play big card now. We're not gonna retreat. We're not retreating from this. There's no way. No way, no how. I think we're gonna Enchantress that invisible woman though and make him reveal whatever he did on turn 5. Okay, he did it himself. Okay, all right. So I think the Enchantress plays the no-brainer, and we can Spider Ham, right? So we do this and see where that takes us. Now, as far as cards that can be pulled down for us, obviously Coulson's great, Leader's not. Mockingbird is, but if I know Alex like I think I do, he's gonna probably play Leader behind this invisible woman here. I wonder if he's in shambles. We hit the Red Guardian. It's the leader! Oh, do I know Alex or do I know Alex? Oh my god, it's beautiful. We got our Mockingbird, Chef's Kiss. Shang-Chi takes down the Sasquatch, but opens up the lane. And we're still winning, so we're fine with that. And we're going to snap opposed to that. Okay, so we can just leader whatever he does. That's probably going to be our wise play. He also goes first. What I'm thinking we do, guys, is we Zemo and we Shung. He goes first. So we play this down. There is a chance we might, I don't know. Playing leader right side's probably pretty smart too, but he could dump a lot of cards. This is for 5. It makes it even. It makes it fun. Let's do it. If he spreads out small cards left and right, that's where I think we're screwed. Ooh, he goes Shadow King. Oh, the Darkhawk. He's going to be in shambles. He's going to be in shambles. No.
Zemo! No! No, Cozy, you absolute savage! No, the humanity!
Oh, it's too good.
Victory.
I don't even know what to say.
Oh my God, I just got punished so hard.
I said,
it hurt.
I go, if I know Alex Kocha, he's going to play a leader behind this invisible woman.
I'm so sad. I can't believe it, man.
Oh,
That
so
Shawners absolutely just punted your Darkhawk. That was your Arishem's Darkhawk.
Oh, was it really? Oh my God. Yeah, I go, if he plays two smalls, I'm so screwed here. But if I know Alex like I know Mr. Costco,